Right. We might kick it off because I think if we just keep waiting, more people are just going to keep dribbling in, so we'll just kick it off anyway. So welcome to DTF, Government Services Division's Australia's biggest morning tea, which we're combining with a small event which I'm going to lose some hair about. So thanks for coming. I want to thank a few people to start off with. These sort of events, especially the raffles, don't happen without people's generosity. We've got a number of people here today who will introduce for some prize giving. There's some prizes all over there. I'd have somebody doing this with them, but I don't. We've got some fantastic prizes from Telstra, Optus, NEC and Corporate Express. So that's very generous of those organisations to donate. So hopefully you've all had the opportunity to buy a 1 in 100 chance of a white iPhone. If anybody not who wishes to, speak now, forever hold your peace. Okay. And there's a number of other prizes there, so we'll come to that later. Now there's some other things. We've had a lot of donations here. The one I want to specifically thank is Michael from Whitworth Hair, who's sitting right down here. I've had my hair cut by a guy in South Yarra for about 25 years. He said yes, 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 and then 2 weeks ago he said no. So I want to say thank you specifically to Michael for allowing me to entrust my head to him for the last little bit. But as I said, he is willing to accept bribes for having a go at maybe the ones a little earlier. So a lot of people who have helped us here in providing some morning tea, rather than afternoon tea, we're morning tea this morning, and they're all listed there, particularly Linda McCutchinson, who has made some jewellery, and that's part of the prizes we've got here for later, so thank you, Linda. So the main reason why I started doing this in March or so was for a little guy called Linus. You'll notice there's a whole lot of green uniforms about 1, 2, 3, 4 rows back. I won't embarrass my son by pointing him out, but Year 9 kids at Trinity had a friend called Linus Couper. Linus did a cross-country run about this time last year or so, and unfortunately lost his battle with something called Ewing's sarcoma in March. I went home, said to my family, what can I do to turn this into something positive? And I said, how do you feel about me going bald? To their credit, my wife's standing over there with a video camera, thank you. Better still, she's knitted me a beanie, which will come into use afterwards. So my daughter actually this morning, as she went off to MLC, I said, oh, bye-bye hair, and she kissed my hair. And I said, well, it will come back. She said, not that hair. So this is the guy that's all about, and I think I can be clever here. As of this morning, we have ticked over $20,100 in that bucket. We add to that Dean's result from the budget lunch, where Dean raised $1,975, and if I'm right, that makes it about $22,000. And there's still more trickling in as we go through, so a fantastic outcome. And what I'm going to do is share with you a little bit more about the Cancer Council. So I'm going to introduce Sam, and this is a bit of a personal story. Sam's actually my cousin. Sam has gone through school and then went and studied law science and went into Hertfordshire Arundel and then went to Fenton Communications. But the story about Sam is that in 1971, when Sam was 6, so I've given away your age now, his mother died of cancer. So Sam and Kate, who's Sam's sister, came and lived with us in Melbourne. They were Adelaide based. Their father was a racehorse trainer, and that would have been a little bit complex, taking kids to school as well as horses to the track. So Sam and Kate, for all intents and purposes, I regard as brother and sister, and have since that age. So funnily enough, roundabouts and swings the way it goes, Sam's ended up as the Communications Director for Cancer Council Victoria in Victoria, Cancer Council Victoria in Victoria. There's too many Victorias there. But he's going to tell you, whilst we get underway, unless, Michael, you want to start doing something with auctioning of some clippers before we go, about what the funds raised for the Linus Couper Memorial Research Grant will go into. This is the first time that Sam has spoken about what's going to happen publicly, so it's a bit of a first for us and first for Victoria. So, Michael, did you want to do anything before we started over there? Well, I get.
Well, do you want Sam to have a few words first, then?
Well, he's not going to take long.
Okay. Well,
we'll get ready.
We'll get ready.
And so, Sandra, if you want to come and say what you want to say, and he can then announce the winners for the cupcakes, and I'll take this and that in case I need to say anything. You'll be all right.
Sure.
Thanks for that, Adam. I'll try and keep your attention while things are getting started over there. Just following up from what Adam was talking about before, you know, I was reflecting on the way here that it was just 2 weeks ago that I sat down with my sister to celebrate her 41st birthday. And whilst that's not normally considered a landmark age, for us it was particularly significant because, as Adam told you, we lost our mum to breast cancer when she was 40. So for Kate to reach 41 felt like a pretty special occasion for us. Such is the nature of cancer. You know, days that previously meant nothing are suddenly imbued with great significance. Something seemingly small and insignificant can make you want to laugh or make you want to cry. Anyone who's had an experience with cancer will attest to the fact that it's a life-changing disease. In 5 minutes' time, another Australian's life will change when they hear those awful words, "You have cancer." And 5 minutes after that, another. So that's the reality. Every 5 minutes, an Australian is diagnosed with cancer. And as our population ages, the number is increasing. That's the bad news. The good news is that we're making real progress in the fight against cancer. Indeed, in the past 30 years, survival rates have risen more than 30%. So that whereas cancer was once considered a death sentence, today over 60% of Victorians who are diagnosed will survive the disease. This is largely because of the high-quality research that's carried out every day all over the world. The type of research that will be made possible by the Linus Couper Memorial Research Grant. So I wanted to just tell you a little bit more about how this money will be used. In the cancer sector, we often refer to the big four cancers: breast, bowel, lung and prostate. Between them, these make up almost 60% of all cancer diagnoses. Unsurprisingly, they also attract the vast majority of research funding. And it's therefore perhaps also not surprising that, with the exception of lung cancer, these tend to have the highest survival rates. But what are the other cancers, the forgotten cancers, the cancers like Ewing's sarcoma that claimed Linus's life? Despite their rarity, these contribute to many more cancer deaths, and that's because relative to the big four, precious little is known about them. So at Cancer Council Victoria, we've devised an initiative called the Forgotten Cancers Project. Our goal is to encourage more of a focus on these less common cancers. Our approach is to analyse the DNA and medical history of as many people as possible with a family history of these cancers. This will help us to pinpoint the areas on the human genome which are associated with an increased risk, which will guide future researchers and help them hone in on those areas that are most likely to be involved in the disease. The money raised by your efforts will provide seed funding for this project, which we're launching officially in August of this year. It will therefore provide the foundation for a project that will be the key to unlocking the secrets not just of Ewing's sarcoma, but many other cancers about which we currently know very little. We really do hope that it will save many, many more lives. When Adam first told me of his fundraising plans, he mentioned he was hoping to raise $5,000. I told him he was dreaming. Clearly he has a lot more influence than I gave him credit for. To raise over $20,000, I think Adam said we're at $22,000, is a truly extraordinary effort. Indeed, to my knowledge, it's the highest collective fundraising effort among all of Cancer Council Victoria's efforts this year by some margin. I would therefore like to thank each and every one of you for the contribution you have made, no matter how big or small that contribution may have been. Every little bit makes a difference. I'd particularly like to thank the committee, Kim, Anna, Philika, Brogan, Maddie and James for the work that they've done in pulling together the prizes and gathering donations. But most of all, I would like to thank Adam for pulling this whole event together. and I guess for having the courage to lose all of that precious hair of his in what promises to be a very, very cold Melbourne winter.